Bitcoin's price has been on an absolute tear this year, so we're going to do a little bit of technical analysis to break it down and see where we could go next. Cryptocurrency as a whole is finally getting what we've been begging for, regulation across the world. Then we got things like Binance and Coinbase making changes, and that's the only thing that's promised to us in this space. So we're going to break it down a little bit for us. Welcome back to another episode of Where the Money At. You know we're keeping it rocking and rolling. Let's get right into it. We got Bitcoin sitting at 37,800, having a pretty good last 7 days. Ethereum finally over 2,000 at $2,077, having a great 7 days. BNB at 233, XRP at 62 cents, and Solana at $58. Y'all remember when it was $8 just a little while ago? But let's get into the price chart on TradingView. Let's get into the daily. Bitcoin. We know y'all got a sale coming up. Let's go. So what I want to talk about is how Bitcoin has performed year over year. It's just been on an absolute tear. Let's see. We are up about 130% on the year. And that's just absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Up 130% roughly over 333 days, year over year. Those are great returns for an asset class. So, I mean, from my perspective, we've come down from the all-time highs. We reached a local low of 15, 16,000. And now we're kind of settling and finding the new range. I don't necessarily know if this is the start of the next bull market. You know, we may have some time to go sideways, go up a little bit, go down a little bit. And you know what I'm saying? The point is we need to be locked in the whole time. Because with everything we see coming, with all the news that I'm trying to bring to you and everything that you research, you can tell that infrastructure is being built. And all this information leads me to believe that the next bull run is going to be ridiculous. Let's always remember the last highest price action in the last all-time highs at 70,000 at one point looked like this at 20,000. And if you zoom out, this gets dwarfed. So this price action from 2021 to 2023 will become this in the future. And we'll have a bear market and another bull run. And I can't even imagine where the price is going to go, and I'm not going to try to guess because that's not what it's about. It's about getting in and not missing out. But let's talk about the local price action. It looks like we're about to break past this new local range. Like we're in a uptrend right now. So let's just check the fibs to see where we could possibly land. Let's go from 70,000 to the local low of 15.5. We could be anywhere between 36,000 and 42,000. That looks like a good price we could sit. If we check here in the past, we tried to settle here, but we were on a complete downtrend. Popped below it, popped above it, popped below it, popped above it again. So this could be a place where we could settle. And we could be honestly about to get out of this range here and turn this part into resistance at 38,000. But, you know, that's about enough for price action because that's not what it's about. Unless you're a trader, I will start to do a little bit more deeper technical analysis, maybe get into some Elliott wave theory and probably get into some lower time frames like the hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, just so we can have a little bit more fun. But let's get into the news because this is what it's about. What's going on in cryptocurrency as a whole. We have Rich Ryan's here discussing what happened at Binance and what it could lead to in the future. I'm gonna just play like maybe a minute of what he's talking about, and then we're gonna break it down and discuss further.
Well, Bernstein argues that Binance will retain its international dominance after the settlement in the US, but acknowledges that it now expects increased competition from companies like Coinbase and other exchanges in regulated markets, including Singapore and Hong Kong. Do you agree?
I think competition is good for the space. I think Binance will continue to remain the leader, and this settlement helps ensure that. But I think the competition, as the space continues to grow and mature, will get more competitive. There's, of course, exchanges like Coinbase that have been above board since their founding, and will probably make inroads in some of these other markets as they get to further regulatory clarity. But I think in general, like we'll watch this continue to grow and get more mature as a space, and competition amongst major players is to be expected.
So she asked the question, what about competition? You know what I'm saying? Look, Binance is the big dog right now. Coinbase is a big dog right now. But there's only one thing that's guaranteed to us, is that's change. Now, Coinbase Binance having their former CEO CZ step down and having a new CEO and a settlement is not bad for the space. That things are going to change. Coinbase, we'll get into the news in a second, is expanding on what they offer. But in her question, she said people are expanding in Singapore and Hong Kong. We're definitely going to get into what's going on in Hong Kong and across the world, because what's the point? Regulatory environments are better for cryptocurrency in places other than the US. It's getting better in the US, but in other places in the world, Singapore, Hong Kong, everywhere in the East, it's amazing. And that's where companies are fleeing and growth is expanding at an exponential rate. So let's get into the growth and what's going on, because competition is great for the space. We want as many people inside of crypto as possible. I mean, let's keep it a stack. If you're inside of, let's say, Ethereum, and none of this is financial advice. Let's say you're invested in Ethereum. You want as many people and as much exposure to Ethereum as possible. So with exchanges opening up in Africa, Europe, Asia, you want that because you want more money to flow in, because that it leads to better price action for your project. So let's get into it. Let's get into some specific examples of what we're talking about. Coinbase expands crypto futures with Solana and Avalanche. This was about a week and a half ago. Coinbase is set to broaden its perpetual future offerings by adding Solana and AVAX contracts. The new listings, SOL Prep and AVAX Prep, are scheduled to go live on November 14th at yada, 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 provided the required liquidity conditions are met. So what are they talking about? Coinbase International Exchange, again, something else that's not available in the US, offers futures, and they just added Solana futures and AVAX futures. Now, why should we care? We want as much exposure and money flowing into the asset and around the asset that you're invested in as possible. So we already have Ethereum, BTC, XRP, Litecoin, Solana, and AVAX futures now. These are the new ones. And as you can tell, they have the lowest amount of open interest right now. And they don't really have 30-day volume because they just dropped this 10 days ago, 15 days ago. But if you pay attention, in 24 hours, hold on, let me refresh this. In 24 hours, there's roughly $80 million in volume right now, which is nothing to sneeze at. $5 billion in volume for the last 30 days. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, so that's why I talk about the importance of more financial products being created, because like if you just had the asset itself, you could buy it, directly straight up on a spot on Coinbase. That's good. That's great. You're getting transaction fees. You got money moving around. But if you offer futures, now you just added another $80 million in volume in the last 24 hours. And look, we're not even in a hype part of the market right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, cryptocurrency is doing great as far as price action year over year, but not a lot of people are talking about it, and not a lot of people are still exposed to cryptocurrency as a whole. When we start to reach the last all-time high, 70,000, then we get to 80,000, 100,000, maybe even 150,000, people will be talking. And I guarantee you this number could possibly quadruple or more in volume. You know what I'm saying? And that's great for all the products that are listed. So, so she mentioned Hong Kong and Singapore. So let's talk about the infrastructure that's being built around the world. Victory Securities makes crypto history with retail trading approval in Hong Kong. Victory Securities, Hong Kong-based securities company, has been granted approval by Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission to extend virtual asset trading and consulting services to retail investors. It marks the first instance in Hong Kong's history where a traditional securities company has been authorized to open the doors of cryptocurrency trading to retail investors. So the only point I'm trying to make to you is, when there's an industry, a relatively young industry, crypto is only less than 20 years old, that's building and has infrastructure, you want to pay attention because there's opportunity there. This is why I try at this point in our financial journey, I'm not talking about stocks and real estate because it's already established and it has a very, very high barrier of entry. Cryptocurrency, I believe, provides a very, very good opportunity for people to create new wealth. And this is just my prediction. This is not financial advice. This is my prediction on what I see in the space and what's going on with these products as far as just cryptocurrency and also digital assets being created in the future. That's why I talk about tokenization and fractionalization of real world assets. So we got Victory Securities offering retail trading and different things to their retail customers in Hong Kong, as she mentioned earlier. Now we have Netherlands-based cryptocurrency exchange Bitvavo secures regulatory approval in France. Dutch-based cryptocurrency exchange Bitvavo has received regulatory green light in France to act as a digital asset service provider. So here's a tweet from their Twitter. We have received regulatory approval from the French authority AMF as a digital asset service provider. This registration aligns with our goal to be Europe's top crypto exchange, enabling us to support French customers in their crypto journey. So we got Hong Kong building, we got Singapore building, we have exchanges popping up in France, and I don't want anybody watching these videos to have any excuse on why they could possibly miss out on what could happen in the future. There is no guarantee that any of these tokens, that Bitcoin will ever rise again, and it could go to absolutely zero. But with what we're seeing, I am deducing that there will possibly be more price action and higher price action due to the level of exposure that's about to come into the market. I'm pretty sure if I look up the stats, and I will in a future video, about how many people own cryptocurrency, it is not a lot. Not a lot of people own cryptocurrency right now, and it's still kind of rough. You know what I'm saying? Like I still personally buy crypto on Coinbase and then send it to a hard wallet. You know what I'm saying? And that's very, very dangerous because I could use the wrong address. You know what I'm saying? I could send it. You could fat finger it and just do anything, and a lot of things could go wrong. That's very clunky and complicated. Using a decentralized exchange is very complicated. So the onboarding and the services we have right now are still very, very complex. So somebody is going to come out with a user interface. Somebody is going to make the transition much easier, and even more money will flow into the market. There's no telling how advanced these new exchanges are becoming. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point I want to get to, you guys. Stay locked in, stay focused, do some research right now on the projects that you believe will do great in the future, because no matter what happens during a bull market, and when I say a bull market, I mean when price goes from here and it has ridiculously price increases like this in a very, very short time, when it goes from 8,300 all the way to 60,000, there's going to be another candle like that in the future. And no matter what happens, you're going to have regrets. I'm telling you. But the regret you want to have, and the least painful regret, is that you didn't buy more of your favorite product. And that's all I want to get to, you guys. So let's wrap it up with all this opportunity to create money comes more opportunity to lose money. And we about to go through this one because this one is pretty entertaining. Man loses $400,000 in cryptocurrency trades. A Georgia man reported that he lost $400,000 since February in a fraudulent cryptocurrency investment. Let's read what happened and let's break it down. A man told police he began buying and trading cryptocurrency with a woman he met on an app for social networking and investing. I'm not gonna kill this man. I'm not gonna talk crazy about him. Be careful of anybody you meet over social media talking about they can make you money. It's time to apply common sense and scrutiny to everything we do involving money. You met this random woman and y'all decided to do heavy business together. Let's keep reading. After making $22,000 in crypto purchases, the man told the police that he and the woman began to have an online relationship, and in May, he puts $210,000 in crypto into their joint account. I want everybody reading this stuff to learn from other people's mistakes. This person was probably targeted. You make $22,000 in purchases with somebody that you met online, And then after that, you want to have an online relationship with this person. Relationship scams are some of the highest or easiest people to target. There are people that are lonely out there. You know, the majority of people who get targeted, old people, or not old people, older women and older men on Facebook, because they're looking for somebody to talk to all day online. Look, this person, I'm not even sure it's a real woman. This person socially engineered their way into this person's life by sending them some messages, formed a relationship, convinced them to make small amounts of purchases, and then got them to make a big purchase and started an online relationship with this person. We need to be very careful, because I know people personally who have met people online and started to invest with them or gave them money to invest for them. You know what I'm saying? If somebody could make $1,000, if somebody could take $1,000 and make $100,000, then why would they ask you for your $1,000? They would just take another $1,000 from the 100 that they made. And this may sound crazy to some people. This may sound not crazy to some people, but this is the reality of what's going on, because this is a real person who lost money. Now, I'm pretty sure there were red flags and there were a million things that he could have done not to lose this money, but he did. And I want to bring this information to you because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Look at the price action. Look where we're at. We are under $40,000 right now. When we start to creep higher, more and more scammers are going to come out the woodwork, and they come in all shapes and sizes. They come as fake online relationships, fake money-making gurus. YouTube is going to have a million videos on how to do this, how to do that, how to make $1 million from this, how to quit your day job. You know what I'm saying? They're going to hit you on your pain points where it hurts. TikTok is going to have so much terrible financial advice. And I'm not out here giving financial advice. I am trying to bring information that makes you aware of what's going on. So, look, point is, she hit him with the scam. She hit him with the woo-wop, got him out his money. He probably ain't getting that money back. You know what I'm saying? I hope he does. I hope nobody listening has been scammed. But if you have, learn from your mistakes. Tell other people about your mistakes. Because let me tell you, you know what? Since we're talking, let me tell you about a time I got scammed in cryptocurrency. There was a project, and I can't remember what the name of it was at first. And this is back in 2017, 2018. It was called, it changed its name and rebranded to Rayblocks. And Rayblocks had a pre-sale going on their own website, and they had their own exchange. They had their own exchange for one token. And I bought into the pre-sale, and I made a vital mistake that I would recommend nobody ever does. I left my coins on the exchange. And what happened to the exchange? What happened to their own website? It got hacked. Never saw my money again. Now, luckily, it wasn't a life-changing amount of money or anything that broke me. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it straight. Take your coins and have your own custody. Buy a hard wallet. If you don't have the keys, it's not your crypto. It belongs to somebody else. Even your money on Coinbase, Binance, if you leave it on the exchange, it belongs to them. Because what do banks do when you put money in? They reinvest it and they make yield. What happens when you leave cryptocurrency on Coinbase or Binance? They reinvest it and they make yield, and they put it in danger. So yes, you don't get any yield holding it in your ledger, or Trezos or whatever hard wallet you want to use, but at least you know it's safe and you have access to it. So that's what we talked about today, man. Look, I hope I'm bringing y'all some real good information. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's all I want to do is bring y'all the best information. And I appreciate every single person who watches this video for rocking with me. And we're gonna keep rocking and rolling, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all.